Guys, welcome to my show, welcome to my channel. Again, we are pursuing that series I just started few days back, probably 4 days back. The astounding or astonishing ironies contained in the Bible. Okay, and one after the other. It doesn't mean I'll be covering all of them. There could be more than 1,000. That doesn't mean I'll be doing that. But per episode, I would like to share an irony per episode, at least one irony, so that you know that how God operates. How does He write His story, which plays out. Our stories are fictional. His things play out. What is written will play out, will happen. What was written for Raj Sahu is playing out now. All our days have been ordained. That doesn't mean we don't make a choice. We make a righteous choice every day and choose righteously, choose deliberately to obey the Lord, which will lead you to righteousness. Righteousness will lead you to love, and love will lead you to salvation. This is the connection. However, that was not done. That is ironical. We ran after a fakester who says, the crafty fellow that I, Paul, am. I took you in or trapped you in by deceit. Where does he say? 2 Corinthians 12:16, and that's exactly what he did. Irony in this video is we choose to, when he says these things, I'm a liar, he says that in Romans, then I'm a thief. And he was lying to say, increase the glory of God. That's the kind of explanation he gives. And then he stole like a Robin Hood to give to another church. Above all, he says, the crafty fellow that I, Paul, am. I took you in by deceit in 2 Corinthians 12:16. Now, here is the irony. We are trusting a man who was condemned by Jesus, Matthew 23:13. All the Pharisees were. And they were given 7 woes, which can also be loosely translated as curses. This man was a blasphemer, murderer, he was a thief, he was a liar, and he says much after his so-called conversion that he is a crafty deceiver. In spite of all that, we trusted him, we accepted him, nobody vetted him, he had no bloody witness. I keep saying that again and again, not a single credible witness, but he himself. Testifying, I saw a conversion. What Raj Sahu says, I see Jesus is sitting with me now. Today is a brand new day and I'll give you a brand new doctrine. All 8 billion people on earth can say we see Jesus. And he gave us this doctrine. We are stuck now with 8 billion doctrines. If you are going to accept Paul, why don't you accept them? At least they are better than blasphemers, murderers and thieves and whatnot. Likely they will be better than Paul. So if we accept Paul, the same yardsticks should apply for others. See, what I'm trying to say is, these are ironies. We ran after Paul, no business to. And what did we do? He started teaching a new doctrine, and he used to say, my doctrine, my doctrine. What was his my doctrine? Justified by grace through faith. You've been saved by grace through faith and not by works / obedience, so that no man may boast. In the whole process, you don't have to obey. You don't have to have any fruit in your life, nothing. So we trusted this doctrine, but I'm not talking about justified by faith doctrine, good or bad. It was a rejected doctrine that I'm talking about. On the day of judgment, Jesus rejected it in totality, completely, comprehensively. Where do we have that? Revelation 20:11-15, the last day account of the judgment day vision sequence in Revelation. It's an account. Read that, Revelation 20:11-15. Check out the criteria that was used. It wasn't justified by faith, nowhere even close. Jesus says in Revelation, my recompense is in my hand. I shall give to each one according to what you have done. What does that mean? Works. Should we reject Jesus? Of course we did. It was ironical. We ran after the murderer, the blasphemer, and rejected the Lord of the universe. The universe itself came down to us to teach us how to be saved through righteousness, practicing loving compassion, not turning to the left or to the right, straight walk in righteousness. We rejected him and ran after a murderer. Isn't that an amazing irony? Running after Paul, who had no bloody witnesses except himself. What were we thinking? Nobody vetted this man, and the crowning glory of all this in sarcastic way is that the so-called justified by faith of this great 13th apostle was rejected in totality on the day of judgment. Jesus rejected completely. I don't want this, because he never taught it. The word grace didn't escape from the mouth of Jesus in the whole Bible. How could he save you by grace? Think about it. What chance is there? Zero that he will change the last day verdict. Matthew 25, 31, 46. Read that. Goats and sheep, or you can call it the wheat and the tares. He separated the tares, tore off the tares, and threw them into the lake of fire. These are the ones who had no works of loving compassion. I'm giving you a heads up, guys. It's up to you. It cannot be changed. If you think you still want to believe Paul and justified by faith, that was a rejected doctrine. And here is the irony. We have rejected Jesus' doctrine of works like righteousness. Pick up the cross, deny your flesh, and follow me. Right? That is Jesus for you. Right? He wanted us to bear good fruit. He says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whichever branch does not bear good fruit. What is good fruit? Fruits of what? Works of righteousness, of loving compassion, which is explained in very vividly on the last day. Those people were called righteous, who had gone out of them. They were the good Samaritans, and blessed all, loved others. That's all there is to the Bible. Pick up the cross, deny the flesh, fight your sinfulness, and follow Jesus Christ. Once you follow him, he will take you to righteousness. What is righteousness? Practicing doing the right things right away. John says, righteous is he who practices righteousness. Not like Paul, who talks about imputed righteousness. It doesn't exist. Here is a clash. I trust John. And finally, why should I trust anybody when I have the last day judgment picture in front of my eyes? Matthew 25, 31, 46, John, I beg your pardon, Revelation 20, 11 to 15. When I have these clear, vivid accounts, why should I trust this bloody Paul? Here is the irony. His justified by faith doctrine was completely and absolutely rejected, and that is being taught for past 500 years. You cannot exceed this one, right? What a huge, humongous irony this is. A rejected doctrine is taught, and mind you guys, 5 days from now, they will teach again. If there's because it's going to be, it's Tuesday here, it's going to be Sunday again. In India and elsewhere also, the Protestant churches and the mainline churches will again teach the same thing. A rejected doctrine is being taught. Jesus' was brushed aside. It was revolving around love and compassion. He says 6 times, whoever, if you love me, you shall keep my commands. On the last day, on earth, the Last Supper, he said 6 times. We rejected that. If you love me, what were his commands? His commands revolved around love and compassion. Righteousness. Loving. Who are good Samaritans who were saved on the day of judgment? They were the extreme righteous people. What is righteousness? Doing the right things right away. Why is it so difficult? What is so hard about it on doing the right things? It's one of the best things. Who are the toppers in colleges, schools, who top the medical sciences and engineers and all? Those who do the right things by studying day and night and applying them. It plays out whatever God says. No, who says that you go and stand before a medical institute, I believe in this, now am I a doctor? Will you go to such a doctor? I believe that this is the bloody nonsensical doctrine, talk to us, believe and go to heaven. Really? Doing all the filth, all the dirt, obeying nothing, and going into by a murderer. Ironies upon ironies upon ironies. Yay! What have we done? Guys, time for taking stock of the situation, but these are some glorious and amazing ironies in the book of Bible, or the Bible itself as a book. It's amazing, the book is amazing, and the ironies are mind-boggling. So see you next time. Again, summarizing this very quickly, that justified by faith alone was rejected by Jesus, and yet ironically it is being taught every day by our churches. In fact, it is their biggest and the main teaching of the church of salvation is justified by faith alone, a doctrine comprehensively rejected by Jesus, and grace is a word he never taught or uttered. So these are some splendid and astounding ironies in the Bible. Thank you guys. God bless you.